everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. If you are new, please hit that notification bell and do subscribe so that whenever we get to post, you do get a notification. Also, you can binge watch all the previous shows that we've already filmed and enjoy. We hope that you are going to also enjoy the conversation that we're going to be having today. It is one that is very controversial, and we're going to unpack it today. And we have had so much great help from everyone that we surveyed to share their views on what they thought on this topic. So today's topic is about, is lobola still relevant in today's age? Or should we say, has it lost its meaning from what it was before? So, but before we get into that, we are going to be talking about our Women Crush Wednesdays.
Yes.
You go first.
My Women Crush Wednesday is an actress. She's a mother of 5, and she has been nominated for a SAFTA Award for Best Actress, and she has won that award. And she has starred in Lockdown and Uzalo. My Women Crush is none other than Udon Tandeka King.
Oh, I love her. Umangcobo, actually,
Yes.
or Uzalo. Okay. My Woman Crush Wednesday is an icon. She is legendary in the South African film and entertainment industry. She has been featured in so many local and international productions, such as Ubizo, Mapantsula, Sarafina, and she was also on the Generation's very first season. This is a shocker for me, okay? She's been in the industry, okay, cooking and working. She's iconic, darling. And she has been nominated for multiple awards as well. She also was crowned and awarded the Golden Horn Award for Best Actress in TV comedy. My Woman Crush Wednesday is none other than Umama Umeri Twala. She may her soul continue resting in peace. What is your take on this conversation?
Well, my take on this conversation is that Lobola is meant to be bringing together 2 families.
Mm-hmm.
It is the guy saying to the bride's family that I can provide for your daughter, and she will be well taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also think it also is like an introduction to from the groom's family that okay, we are welcoming you to our family as the bride. So it's like an introduction to the ancestors. And I also think Ilobola brings dignity, not only for the woman but also for the woman's family. But in also most cases, it also brings dignity to the guy. That listen, I came up, I showed up, and I did what I had to do, and I got my wife. So now I am making dignity, Lando, and it also brings dignity to just all families. Because sometimes if like that, like this, it's kind of like a disgrace and something like that. So when you are able to pay that lobola and you were paid for lobola, you guys both feel that because it also like welcomes you to Faziland.
Yes.
So so where do you think it has lost its meaning?
Well, I think I strongly feel that it has lost its meaning because Abazali look at Lobola as a way to make a quick buck. And they look at it as a way where they should be getting compensated for doing what I see as your responsibility as a parent.
Because they put this thing of Lomdana is educated.
She was supposed to be.
But you were supposed to raise that child. It's as if you're saying, no, this child, you were supposed to raise this child. So now, because I did as this child's parent, you're supposed to compensate me for raising my own child.
Why?
Like, it doesn't make sense.
It really doesn't make sense.
I think it's ridiculous that they put those...
So much pressure.
Yeah, they put those as a reason why lobola should be so high priced. Like,
the prices are ridiculous.
100,000.
Like, really?
Then what happens? There's life after lobola.
Exactly. That's
There's
the
life after lobola. There is rent. There is car payments. There is school fees. Some people have already children,
exactly.
So they have school fees. There's just general.
Even if you
life.
don't have kids yet, you need exactly. So you need to have like some fund, like some money set aside for the child, and you won't be able to do that because the local they price you as if like why?
So parents, not even parents actually,
Family.
Extended family.
Yeah,
you find that womalume that come and have a say on umntana that they know nothing about. That I think there's a flaw.
And they weren't even present.
I think there's a flaw in even how lobola is conducted. Yeah. Why is it that no malume? That I think I missed that part on the survey. I don't think anybody touched on the fact that why is it that malume, people that know nothing about me, malume that I probably don't even know myself,
you only see them at funerals.
Yes, come and have a say on my future life. Like, it's ridiculous how it happens, because even your own parents, they don't have a say in that, especially in our closer culture. Our moms have no say.
They have no say.
They should have the most say.
Because they play the biggest role in our lives.
Because so mostly our dads.
Why are they being undermined?
They don't have a say. They're not present. They don't say how much they would be expecting for their daughter. But an extended family member comes and says what they think should go on a daughter that is not theirs, and a daughter that they don't know personality yakhe, so they sell lies because they don't know you to speak on your behalf on what a great person that you are, or how good you will be able to perform your wifely duties.
But do you see, Linda, of these ridiculous prices over? It's really the main reason that men end up rather uhlaliswani, because he really doesn't want to be paying so much money, even though he might have intentions of marrying her. But imagine, for 950,000 rands, how are you going to be able to do that?
Somebody, okay, not somebody, but a lot of people were praising the show. There's a show called Marry Me Now South Africa, where it allows the woman.
Oh yes, Married at First Sight, I think.
No, Marry Me Now South Africa. Oh, it's a South African show. It allows the woman to actually propose to the guy. It allows her 3 days to prepare her wedding and everything. So she comes in a wedding dress and then she proposes to the guy. And then if he says yes, blah blah blah, they get married.
Wed immediately.
Yeah, they go to their wedding reception and they get married. Also, she would obviously talk to her family and be present at the wedding, and she would also have to talk to the guy's family so that they are present at the wedding, okay? So, and then they would say, okay, lobola would follow after. So, this one lady commented on that, and a lot of people were praising this show because a lot of women were taking initiative and all of that. And most of the guys, 90% or 99% of the guys always say yes. So this woman commented and said, do you see, guys, that our boyfriends actually want to marry us? They're not running away from marriage, but they just can't afford to pay the lobola.
Because the prices are ridiculous.
How do I pay 100,000, 150,000 when I still need to have life afterwards? And the worst part is that our parents or these uncles, they take that money and not do what it was. Yeah, they don't do what it was purposely intended for. Like, it was intended for the wedding, where they will come in a form of mandate to the wedding. Now they don't do that, and then when you're having your wedding, as the woman,
how do they not have money?
Where my money at? It was meant for that. But also, we do have to recognize that money, some of it was a token of appreciation for the parents.
Yes.
So they can take some of the money, and also they can also have a helping hand when the time comes.
Exactly.
Now, what happens is they run away with the money. They misuse the money. They spend the money. And then on your day, they can't show up, and your husband still has to pop out that money to make that wedding happen for you.
So do you see that, Gengoku? Already, your husband has coughed up like a lot of money. So now, which then brings you guys like challenges, financial challenges into this new marriage of yours, and
so are you saying that this also adds to the statistics that nowadays a lot of marriages they end in divorce?
Yes.
Maybe we should look at it from that perspective.
It does.
People get into that marriage in debt already, and then after being in obviously when they're in debt, when you are in debt, you become stressed down in our mind.
Obviously.
So that means that it's bound to fail.
It's bound to fail because here is the man thinking, we have no money. Now I look as a failure because I promised your family that I would take care of you. All this money, and here we are struggling. To get, we can't get anything to work.
And the money is no benefit to us.
It isn't. So
yeah, it's a tricky one. Like, it's really sad how our parents don't take into consideration the time in which we live in now.
They don't.
We can't go a Planty and take in Gomungu because we don't have. We no longer live there because we've migrated from Ilali to the urban area.
Exactly.
So this involves a lot of these guys that we are talking about. So therefore they have to cough up actual money to provide as ilobola, right? As a form of ilobola. So now that alone is a problem. Because here is your guy, he's earning, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. I don't think it's enough because they will have to save up.
How long?
How long is it going to take them to save up?
Exactly. So, which is like the main reason of about men end up taking loans to go pay for ilobola.
And then you end up being married to someone that is already in debt. And of course, then you also inherit that debt as that person's spouse. And then it brings a lot of pressure and tension in your new marriage. And you don't even get to enjoy your marriage.
You guys won't be happy.
5 minutes later, you guys are introducing a baby into the world that also wants more and is an expense on its own.
Babies are expensive, so you really need to be prepared, hey?
But then my mom said, men are hypocrites. Then she said they are running away from responsibility because as a woman, you know that in your life you're gonna want to have kids. As a man, you know that in your life, at one particular point in your life, you're gonna want to take a wife. So what men do is that they enjoy their youth so much. Busy buying booze, impressing women and friends, and they overspend their money and they're not financially literate. So they misuse their own money, and then Umdu is now 30-something and wants to take a wife, and then booming at and starts complaining about ilobol.
He could have been spending all that money
he could have been saving because he knows at this particular point in my life, I'm going to want to buy a car. I'm going to want to live in a home. I'm going to start a life with somebody. Okay, never mind taking a wife, but you know that at this particular point in your life, you're going to be wanting to start your life and planning your life with somebody. So why go into that with zero in your bank? So could that be the truth, that they're just running away from responsibility because you
having a bad dream.
You knew this did not come as a surprise. It didn't come as a shock. So they should have prepared for it beforehand.
But apart from preparing, I feel like a lot needs to change, not just from the guys. It's the guys need to change how they think and how they plan. Also, the families need to stop being ridiculous with the pricing. Stop.
Like, they need to take into consideration, look at the economy, look at the rand value. And because now the rand value is dropping, so that means you're going to want more money. But that does not mean that they have this more money, because even the money that they have, in what they need to they need to continue their life. Okay, and you also expect your child to be taken care of after
How will they be taken care of?
To live comfortably after the lobola. Now, if you take this lobola to yourself, and mind you, when you're already set, you're already comfortable, you already have a home as Lomzali, and you're taking a chance from Abandwana to start their life. You're robbing them that opportunity.
You're robbing them of their happiness, actually. Because they can never ever be happy knowing that they have so many responsibilities, they have so much that they want from them, like for themselves, but they cannot afford. And
Also, I think it robs the opportunity for abantwana bakhuliswe ngodada wabo. We look at statistics today and say, black men don't raise their kids, they run away. But maybe they did not run away. There's a portion that never ran away, but simply because they ended up breaking up with the mother because they were not able to be with the mother the way that they wanted to and be able to be a family and raise their children together. So you find that a lot of abantwana are being raised by their grandparents. For instance, if I have a child and then I have to stay home, right? And my child will be raised by myself and the grandparents. So now this man is not able to fully be there and be present in the life of the child and be able to support and just be there as a father. And we end up maybe breaking up because it's frustrating if you want to be with this person, but there are certain things that are not allowing you guys to be together. Something such as LOBOLA.
Yes.
So we are being broken up because of LOBOLA. We are robbing two people that love each other and already maybe have a child to be a family because they just simply can't afford LOBOLA.
But don't you also think this thing of LOBOLA being ridiculously priced is also the reason of abantu kuyahlaliswana 1 or 2?
And it's funny because cohabiting in our culture is frowned upon. It is something that is like a no-go area. Like you're ridiculed a lot for doing it, but people now are resorting into it and making it a norm because they just can't afford LOBOLA.
So my easy price, guys.
I think Magushi price
Not of pants.
Because I don't think I agree. Listen, like I said, I'm probably not saying that LOBOLA must completely not be there.
No.
Because if it's not there, then what are we going to substitute with? Are we just going to simply walk into Home Affairs and sign? How are you then going to be recognized in that guy's family as a wife?
You cannot. You have
How
no
will you
grounds
then
to
recognize yourself as a wife?
As Africans, you have no grounds.
As an African, in our culture, and somebody is going to tell you that, you know what, Sumisani culture, always saying, I think it's very important that we actually say it is our culture. You cannot be a wife in our culture if you are not paid LOBOLA for. If you are umjanga, utsiki, how are you then going to be umfazi?
Umfazi njani? How do you even step into ikhaya lalomfana unga-introducewanga kakuhle?
You were never introduced as a wife.
Exactly, because
the proper way.
Exactly. As the Africans, we don't do this Western thing of just bringing your man home to have dinner with your parents. The only time you introduce a man formally to your parents is when LOBOLA,
So I totally agree with you. So if we remove, I think LOBOLA should not be there at all. I cannot agree with you on that.
I don't.
Because I feel like a lot is going to be lost along the way, especially in our culture. And now, because so if we don't have a LOBOLA, that means asinatik. That means asina makoti. Asina dark. So then really you are just gonna be, we are really now promoting the European way of life where we just simply step into Home Affairs, sign the dotted line and say, okay, and wear a ring.
Guys,
that is not how as Abantu seem to
we
do
are
things.
Africans.
We don't do that. So we cannot eliminate LOBOLA at all, because I asked them, I said, if you're saying let's remove LOBOLA, what is then that we're gonna substitute it with? And nobody came with an answer for me.
What is left of us if we just...
And I feel like those people are hypocrites because they always are bashing people that want white weddings. Like, what is a white wedding? This is not tradition for black people, and so on and so forth. Why are black people wanting to practice other people's traditions, Western ways? And yet now they want to eliminate ilobola, which sets us apart from other cultures, which gives us an identity as abantu abamnyama, as abantu bakwaXhosa, as about Africans in general. Because all Africans actually do
practice this.
Yeah, they practice this. And so now we're removing this one identity out of so many that have been removed, by the way. And so now, white wedding, actually, a white wedding, mind you, this is still a man saying this. So, there's a white wedding, I'm going to do a traditional wedding.
There's no traditional wedding without
lobola, because that is the traditional wedding.
Exactly.
Not uyotungisa zando and wear a dress and have ideko. That is not a traditional wedding for abantu besintu. It is not. It is. Remember the last time we spoke about this white wedding thing? You said, hey! Oh! That is actually the traditional wedding.
Exactly.
Because according to, I actually read up this article from Halala, this guy called Halala, and he said, after lobola negotiations have taken place and everything has gone smoothly, you can, with your partner, go to Home Affairs and actually be registered as a married couple. Because
exactly.
So if you're going to say, so it's a white wedding, so what's a traditional wedding? But now you're saying let's remove lobola. So what do we have?
Nothing.
So you don't want to marry us at all. Hey, so then my mom came with a solution. She was talking to me and said, okay, because I thought about this, right? I don't really want to necessarily say that men are running away from responsibility. I do want to say they're running away from these really high costs. Now, remember, see, they show off the ladies, now. So, in a very bad way. Listen, because uzofuna 100,000,
150K.
And then you want a white wedding, and then you want a traditional wedding,
and then you want a honeymoon,
and then you want a honeymoon, and then there's life after all of these 5 days, because the 5 days, there's one day.
There's life after the wedding.
Then you want life after the wedding, which is a car, a nice house, blah, 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 boom, 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 and now, and mind you, you expect your husband, these 5 things, you want him to pay the lobola, you want him to produce a white wedding for you, you want him to have a traditional wedding for you, and you want him to provide a honeymoon for you. Now, I do want to say that maybe they're not running away from responsibility, but they really are running away from this high cost. Like, be serious. All of these are not necessary.
They're not.
Like, why have 2 weddings? In each of these weddings, you have 2 gowns. And in each of these 2 gowns, there's so many other expensive items that you want in this wedding. So I think we are being ridiculous as women. And now forget about Zali and everything. I think we as women are very ridiculous when it comes to this, because I don't see the reason for 2 weddings. Okay, I did before. I thought it was the way to do things. I thought because in you're weddings, a white wedding. So to me, I thought it was like a tradition. You had to do it this way. Until, of course, I educated myself and I realized, no, this is not my culture. This is not my tradition, having a white wedding. So it is ridiculous. Out the door. You know what I mean? So when I was having this conversation with my mom, I said, okay, maybe they're not running away from responsibility, but maybe they're running away from high costs. So she came up with this solution that no, men should not petition to end lobola, but maybe they could petition to end these white weddings because they are unnecessary. It's a party. There are no masiko pa. It is just a party to say, okay, hey, we are husband and wife. But in general, I mean, in essence, it has already happened for you guys. You are already husband and wife. But now you are just like showing off and letting everybody know. So maybe that part could be removed if Romdu Wako maybe Agana man. But the lobola part is very much necessary and has to be done.
Let's see, God,
There's elements so you're not guys who are
we are Africans.
So now the question is for the ladies that are you willing to compromise the white wedding? Are you willing to compromise the traditional wedding?
I ain't compromise. Even child, they're compromise.
So you personally are saying, no, lobola must stay. I'd rather compromise the wedding.
Yes.
I think so too.
Because what's the most important thing is that you guys are going to be able to have a proper life set up for you guys. Not you're going to spend easy money on a wedding because you want to be fancy, you want to be that. And then after that, you cannot have this good life, if I may put it that way.
Yeah, you won't be able to have like a comfortable life.
Exactly.
Because there's life after these weddings, okay? There's a life. And it's ridiculous if I think about it because you go to a white wedding, you do this thing. You go to a traditional wedding, you do the same thing that you already done. What's the point? Pick one and get over it. Be done with it. Like, why? I want to even go as far as getting married 3 times.
For no.
Like, Abanye do have the money, but I think it shouldn't be the thing. Like, it shouldn't be a guide, like, if you don't do it this way. Like, let people do it the way that they are can and they can afford to, okay? Like, the problem is that it's not that people have 3-4 weddings, right? The problem is that it is set as, like, the rule. But it must happen, like, Kanti, we can't all afford it. And I think that is the reality that people need to think about.
People need just to be allowed to celebrate their love and their union in their own way.
That is perfect. What you just said is perfect. But we also need to be able, because I feel like we've been robbed so much, okay? All from the apartheid era and so forth. I think we've been robbed so much as black people. Like, I don't want this one thing that I can hold on to as a black, not just speaking as a woman because I'm going to be paid lobola for, but as an African, I feel like we've been robbed of so many traditions already. Like, let us not lose our identity any further.
No.
Okay, let us try to preserve, because I feel like the little that we already have, because I feel like there's so many traditions that we've lost along the way. Let's not let this one be one of them. Let us not let this one be one of them, but let us be considerate, and let us look at the facts. Let us be realistic and not price like too high prices. Please, no. Let us be realistic. Let us do it the way that it was supposed to be done. Let it be to bring families together.
Let it be a happy process.
Let it be a happy process of learning about each other and knowing each other and introducing each other. Ungajanyelwana kube kuqonda no makucaca uba nyhani kwakhiwa ubuhlobo sanufuna wenza izinto enohluleka ukuzenza ngeemali zelobola zabantwana beni. Please, not in a disrespectful way, but please, like, let it not be that. And like Nati, let us not take things too far, because I know of a couple that did the whole lobola thing. But till this day, the families don't even know each other. The parents never met, yet they live together. The lobola was done. So I'm thinking some of the family members, they don't even know the husband. Some of the family members, they don't even know the wife. The parents of the two couples have never even met.
Why?
So lobola has changed these days. It's all about the money. So when I read up this article from this guy called Mpalala, he said that back in the day, there was no price tag on ilobola, right? It was just to bring families together. There was no actual price tag on somebody's head. Then came this British man called Mr. Shapstone. He then said, no. Did you hear me? A British man came all the way from Britain to South Africa and changed how we view ilobola and how we were doing and practicing ilobola by saying, no, not all women are equal. Therefore, the lobola price cannot be the same or cannot be of a low standard. Then he said, just a general maiden must be paid 11 cows. He's starting to put a price tag on it. Then he said, if you are a chief's daughter, you should be paid 15 cows. And then if you are the king's daughter, you should be paid 30 cows. So then it started this thing, levels. That's why now Tina, asina chiefs most Tina as kings, right? So then, why that general maidens, that families no, then I cannot accept this much cows. I should accept this many cows. Yeah, I understand. So came a British man and changed how we were initially doing things and made it about value.
Monetary value,
yes, and kind of like put abantu equals data as a tile that no, hence it changed again from being to know you should pay the price ethile because so then it changed so nothing alendo yobana what so therefore you must pay money. We are following the tradition of a British man. So I'm pleading with us bantu besintu to keep what we have left of our traditions, because already a lot has been taken, and let us have the interest with traditions in our culture. Let us go back to the traditions and see indobana I dilutekanga na along the way, because there are certain traditions that was diluted by a white man. Ingenaphi white man kwindlela senza ngayo izinto zethu zamasiko
uyintoni
so I think we should also look at the tradition. I'm not saying we should not challenge culture kwezinye izinto, right? I think that's what we are doing today, right? We're saying a lot of things must change, but a lot of other things should remain the same.
Yeah, I agree, and I feel like we as Africans, we just need to go back to our roots and kufuneka sibuyeleni ebuntwini bethu, to what makes us different from everyone. Let's go back to just our African ways and
proud. Let us not let them take any more from us, please.
And I feel like this brings us to the end of today's show. And guys, please keep on subscribing, please keep on liking, and please do engage with us. Comment, just bunny please, man.
Yeah, please follow us on social media as well. On Instagram, we are at Chit Chat Wednesday, and also on Twitter, we are at Chit Chat Wednesday. Please continue to subscribe.